Good evening, you beautiful souls. Welcome to Free Flowing Thoughts. It is 8:30 p.m. UK time, and we're about to get into it. I have a very special guest who goes by the name of Melo, and we are going to be discussing his autobiographical life. So, oh my goodness, I've been looking forward to this. Melo, where are you? Hi, Melo. Just sit with me for now, yeah? Okay, just stay there for 1 second. So let me reintroduce you. Melo is my special guest today, going live. Going to give you guys a few minutes to kind of hopefully log on and share a moment with us. Melo's going to be discussing his autobiographical life, and I'm about to bring him in right now that he's pulled up on the live. Yeah. Happy Wednesday. Oh my goodness, the week's gone so fast. Hi, Mel.
Hey, what's going on? You're right, Miss Silver T.
I'm good. What's going on? I'm good.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I can't complain, man. I'm all right. Having a bit of a stressful day today, but thank goodness that by the grace of God, I'm good, man. I can't complain.
Well, I'm gonna ask you all about your day. So you see, you got there before me, yeah. So obviously we're the first on the live. So let's just warm into it, and I'm gonna ask you about your day. So let's start with that. How has your day been? Tell me about the stress. Tell Auntie Silver all about it.
Oh, where do I start? Oh, Silver, God.
At the beginning,
Well, I'm gonna take a couple sips of the wines first, yeah.
Oh my God, you beat me to it. Like, you know what? Because I'm a little bit with the theories today. I don't blame you.
Listen, you know, before we get into it, yeah, you gotta go and get set up. There's only two people here.
No, do you know this is why I know that you're the original free flow, because you know how I do my thing. There's no planet. I like that, but no. Here's what I've got. I got some busy roots tea because I need it for my system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to have some of that instead of the wine. But let's go.
I got because I need it. But what it is now, I always have three things. I maybe a glass of wine or gin or whatever. But at the moment, this is what I'm rocking with at the moment. Let's see what happens. But no, this feel free, please.
Now you're gonna make me look like a drunkard now, yeah. And you're drinking herbal teas.
No, it's
I'll get the best herbal teas and some water.
This is free flow. We do it how we want to do it. Yeah, we don't do no plans.
We do it how we want to do it, for real, Mr. You do what you like, but I'm gonna be over there sipping on my wine.
Sip on your wine.
Yeah.
We just be ourselves out here. You know how we do.
That's the best way to be. That's the best way to be.
You know what? You've reinvigorated me. Your energy is so high right now. I love it. Welcome, everyone. Keep it coming. Those eyes and we are going to just check out your comments a little bit later. Okay, Mels? Yeah?
Yeah, cool.
Let's begin with how has your day been, Melo? And welcome to Free Flowing Thoughts. Tell me about these stresses before we get into the dynamics of who you are.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, at any time.
I've had a emotional day because I've had to get my cat spaded today.
You have to get your what, sorry?
My cat spaded today. My cat Aretha. I've got a cat called Aretha.
And what happened to it?
I had to get her spaded. Like, she's been going on too wicked.
So
and she's had 3 litters in this lockdown and 1 in September last year. And I've been nursing kittens since the beginning of this year. I am done with it now.
So you're a granddad for the cats and you had enough of it?
Yeah. I've been growing them since the beginning of like September, as I said, and then basically we've moved addressed, and then basically she's been pregnant since she's been here. So she's like, she's had a litter, we've let her out, ended up coming back pregnant.
Your cat like the man them. She likes the tomcat.
She likes fur rod. She likes fur rod. That's it. She was all trying to move to Melo one time. That's why I had to let her out, because she was trying to move to me. I was like, no, cat. That's the first time I ever seen a cat getting season, innit? So she's rolling all over the ground, going, and lying in front of man like with her bum up in the air. I'm like, you need to go outside. You need to go outside with all of that. So yeah, I let her outside, and obviously
So,
3 months
my
later,
goodness. So basically, your biggest stress today is your cat.
well, it's not. It's a stress relief. You know what it is, yeah. Um, it's
You're
not
funny.
even. You know what it is, yeah. It's like I needed this done. You know when you need something done. I needed it done. Like the cat was actually driving me mad because she knows that I'm very spiritual, innit? So she knows how to connect to my soul. So I'd go
Wow.
outside and come back and she'd be like, meow. And every time she sees me, she'd be asking for food. The reason being is because kittens are eating cat food now.
Yeah.
So so when I put her food now, they're eating it off. Then they're eating it off and she's not eating enough. And then they're drinking her milk because for some reason, 9 months, I've never seen her do this before, but 9 months into their age, so 9 weeks into their age, she's still breastfeeding them. And normally after about 6, 7 weeks, they're like, oh no, that's it now. That's it. But she's still breastfeeding them, so she's double whammy. You're not eating enough and then you're getting breastfeeding and then she's just
So,
angry.
ladies, you know how to get to Melo's heart. Bring him a cat. It's a wrap. Okay, let's
No,
move
don't
on.
bring me no cats. Don't listen to this thing. No, no, you know what? No.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's been neutered. She's been neutered today, and she won't be having any more kittens. So it's a bittersweet
So
because
you're very getting emotional for your cat right now.
or it's emotional for her. It's kind of
I
happy
didn't
for
realize you
me.
had some sensitivity. Well, that's good to know.
But
Melo.
yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right, sweet. What's going on?
Welcome, everyone. Keep it coming. We're going to check out your comments a little bit later, so do feel free to share your opinion, let us know how the live is going, etc. If you're new to this page, my name is Silva. Welcome to Free Flame Thoughts. Yeah? All right. So, Melo, tell us, who is Melo? Just share a bit of who you are, all of you. Who are you?
I am a happy soul. I love my life no matter how stressful it may have been or may be. And I want everybody to be happy. I mean, like we're in a world where basically not a lot of people are happy. And life is so simple, but it's so complicated at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So, well, humans make it complicated, I think, personally, you know what I mean? So I'm just a happy person trying to make it through. I enjoy life. I love singing. I love music.
We're
I
going
just
to
love
get into that at the very end.
of
Now,
course.
I'm going to do with you, this is one of those platforms where I'm going to unleash you and put you back together at the end.
That's
Yeah?
fine. That's
I'm
fine.
about connectivity, so my injectable questions are going to allow you to delve and elevate within that realm. So let's get into it. Yeah? So
That's
before I
fine.
take you to the depth of silver as well, yeah, on this platform, tell me about AKA Benjamin Byers, AKA Preacher, Melo, AKA The Lover, AKA Steven. What's up with this AKA? What's going on?
We're gonna have to do one at a time. You can't do them all at once. So let's
Oh,
start over.
so AKA Benjamin Buttons. I want to be Benjamin Buttons too, but why? What's that for you?
Um. Okay then. You know Benjamin Button the movie, right? You know about
Yeah,
the movie, yeah.
yeah.
So
He gets
it's
younger.
like for me, it's like okay. And I feel like I've lived the life of like 3 to 4 men, yeah.
Wow.
And and I'm going back to my youth that was stolen to me. So like if you watch the
Okay.
movie, he was born an old man and then he died a baby. That's what the Benjamin Button thing's
Oh
about.
wow. So does that mean you're having a rebirth on a spiritual realm, or you're just being
Yeah,
carefree and a bit like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like basically, I was my whole life it's got like ups and downs and twists and turns. But at my early stages of my life, I was faced with responsibilities. You know
We're
what I
gonna get
mean?
into that. Don't do the spoiler. We're gonna get into that.
I'm not, but yeah,
Yeah.
so it made that would be the old part, like young but old part. You know what I
So
mean?
Benjamin Buttons for you is part of you that's gonna be your in the midst of a rebirth. Okay, so tell us about
Yeah, yeah.
AKA Preacher, part of you.
Well, my granddad. Recently I've learned my granddad was a preacher, and I met my dad in my 30, like when I was 34,
Okay.
33 or something like that. So I never really grew up around my dad, and I'm talking about my granddad on my dad's side. And I always was somebody that learned something, went through something, and told people, like, right, if you do this, like, I was always the raw, true bearer. And people were like, oh, you preach too much, man. And it
Uh,
wasn't that I was preaching too much. It's just that I was trying to help. But sometimes I've learned that people's got to go through their own thing,
of course.
their own way.
We all do. So dare I ask, aka the lover man, what's going on? Who's that? Tell me all about it.
Oh, well, obviously I love women and who don't love like sex. So yeah, I'm a lover, man. I love love, man. I love love. I am a lover. If I love a woman,
So the
she
lover
knows
man
it.
loves sex. But here's a question before I go on. Are you any good at it?
Come on, like, I don't know. Obviously, don't blow your own your own horn because it
Say you
makes you
love
look
it. I'm going
stupid.
to ask you, are you any good at it?
Of course, like, why would you not? Like, I think that's one of, like, you know what, yeah, in life, yeah, there's not many things that I think that I'm good at, yeah, but that's one thing that I work damn hard at, you know what I mean? So I think
High five. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
of course, like, you know what,
All
yeah, how
right.
could you, alright, can I just say something to you? How could you want a woman, yeah, to want to just be with you, yeah, and you don't know how to please her? Like,
But you know something? I'll tell you this. One
huh?
size does not fit all. And I think that because I'm very relationship ambitious, I'm very ambitious in the relationship realm, not just keeping
Yeah,
fit. If you are someone that wants to evolve and you don't like to get chicks every night, you're going to seek to find ways to keep things stimulating, body, mind, spirit, everything. So it's easy saying about satisfaction, but really it depends on how deep you are. And like the quote says, you reach people as deep as you reach yourself. That's your
yeah,
statement.
yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah?
just like, if you're gonna say that you want to be in a relationship, this goes for men and women.
Mm.
What's the point in being in a relationship here and not being the best that you can be for that partner? Because you're saying you want that person,
Exactly that.
you're saying you want that person to be with you and you only, yeah. But okay, then, like, everybody has dreams and aspirations. So if you got that big ass dream and aspirations, you better make sure that I can't get something else somewhere else that you're not giving me because it doesn't make no
I'm
sense.
glad you know it. I'm
You know what I
glad
mean?
you
If you're gonna
recognize
cheat on me, it's not because I didn't give you the best loving because you saw somebody else that you fancied. It's not because I wasn't loving you right, because that's nonsense for me personally still. So that's where that part comes from, that loving
Well,
man.
just for the record, I do a lot of relationship and sex conversations. So I'm going to bring you back another day and you're going to get into that.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to let us girls know about and want, blah, 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 blah. That's a whole other show, though. Ready for that? Yeah? All right,
I
cool.
heard that. I
The
heard
next
that.
question is the last one is the AKA seasonal. What's that?
Oh, darling, I'm all seasons. Yeah, no matter what. If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's hailstones, if it's too hot, I'm all seasonal. Like, I don't change. I'm the same Melo last year and the year before that, and I'm every seasonal. I'm happy. No matter how it goes, no matter what shit you throw my way, I am seasonally happy. That's where the seasonal come from. You
I
know what I
like it.
mean?
Okay.
You see when you get a
Okay.
piece of chicken, yeah, and it's a bit plain, yeah, and you put the right seasoning and you cover it all up, yeah, that's Mellow. I'm the right seasoning on the chicken. You know the ones that you cook it up is very nice.
And what if people don't eat meat like me? Then what? On the chicken.
You can still put the seasoning on the vegetables.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 'Cause sometimes vegetables dry. You need to put two seasoning on it and then two vinegar and them things there. Yeah, I'm the seasoning now. I'm the
Okay.
seasoning for the
Okay.
seasoning.
So let me get past your AKA. Let's get into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Always
All
ready.
right. Tell me a bit about your origin. I know that you were your background is Jamaican. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
Uh,
Yeah. Kingston, Jamaica. I'm not joking. Go on.
huh?
No, I said Kingston, Jamaica, but I was joking. Not
Okay, like
Kingston.
my mom. Okay. So tell me a bit. So your origin is Jamaican. Was you born in Jamaica?
I was born in Buckinghamshire, Aylesbury, actually.
Okay.
I went to Jamaica when I was 11 months.
Wow.
And then I stayed there till I was 7. The life that I lived over there, that was a whole lifetime on its own, you know what I mean? And I think that was the best part of my childhood anyway. So I very much remember it because it was the best part of my childhood. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
actually grew
so
up in
your
Jamaica.
background is Jamaican.
Mhm.
How would you describe yourself as a child?
Sorry.
First of all, guys, can I say, are you guys hearing feedback on my side as I speak?
It does sound your side sounds a bit glittery, but I don't know if it's because of my internet, because my internet is a bit pants as well. So
Yeah, I don't usually
how
have a
did I
problem.
sound?
Can you, viewers, please, can you help me to answer whether I'm sounding like I'm having feedback on my end? Can you hear me doubling up at all? Is it bearable? I think I'll stop now. But let me know what's good. Let us know how we're doing, the lighting, the sound, and everything. Are we good to go? In the meanwhile, let's
Yeah.
see Melo. So describe yourself as a child. What was you like as a little boy?
Very always up to something, always on adventure, very adventurous. Unfortunately, like not unfortunately, in Jamaica, the time that I grew up, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I had very much freedom. I used to go on my little chopper bike with the big wheel at the back and small wheel at the front,
Oh,
with my vest on and just my vest on and my underpants and ride down the town and them things. Yeah, like it was very free flowing. I really like enjoyed like being free back then, and everybody knew who I was because who my family was. It was very it was a hilly part of Jamaica, not like the ghetto end. It was more like where farmers were and people that basically worked were. That's the part that I grew up in Jamaica still.
okay. So share some details a bit more of what life was like for you, like family life with mom or your extended family in Jamaica.
You see, it's not as easy as jumpy as that. I grew up with my grandmother and my aunts in Jamaica,
Right.
and my
Okay. So,
granddad.
let's start there.
Yeah, so basically, my mom had me very young, innit? So my mom had me at I believe it was a couple of days after her 18th birthday.
Okay.
So she was still in schooling and that. So basically, what my grandparents were very hard working. So my granddad worked in had family business in Jamaica, and my grandmother was in England being a nurse. So
Mhm.
basically, they were sending their kids to school with this money, innit? So because mom had me early at 18 and she was like still doing schooling, um, I was living with my grandfather and my aunts in Jamaica. So
Mhm.
those were the people that grew me up from the age of 11 months till 7. You know what I mean? So I understand that life in Jamaica was pretty much a different life to obviously living over here. You know
What
what I
was your
mean?
experience like? What was it like being schooled in Jamaica in comparison to when you came over to London?
Boy, them strict. Like this, like they want you to learn. You know what I mean? I remember getting a few whoops for not remembering the ABC and or
Wow.
something like that. Like yeah, you used to get a little beat on your backside if you don't remember too much. And I'm dyslexic, so yeah, I know I got a couple,
I'm a
a
typical
couple.
dyslexic too. Who cares?
It doesn't mean much to me, but
Yeah.
it's obviously when you're Jamaica, that's not dyslexic. It's called dunce. That's what they
Yeah.
call it in
Yeah.
Jamaica. It's not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
in backwards. In backwards, they don't know too much. Little did they know that I was freaking intelligent, but yeah, that's what they called it, like dyslexia backwards. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, obviously I didn't know that too much when I was in Jamaica because I did catch on quick because I never had really much stresses, so I got on well in Jamaica. It's only when I came to England and there was a language barrier that's when things started to get
You had a
interesting.
fully blown Jamaican accent when you came over.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Listening to you now, who would have thought?
You know what it is, yeah? Yeah, of course, obviously, because some people come to England, even if they went to Jamaica once, yeah, they try to keep up the accent. If I get really angry, I could probably speak it fluent, but I'm not angry and I don't really keep up. I don't speak it every day just because I want everybody to know I'm from Jamaica. It don't make no sense. I grew up
Isn't
here
it
since I was
interesting? It's
7.
so many Jamaicans
Oh,
who
man.
speak the lingo 24/7, who's never even been there half the time. But yet
Oh
live
man, certain
and
people
you
that
have
be
it.
just still blind that they grew up in that they're living in Jamaica.
Crazy.
They know they're regular. Nah, like they don't. They're not from yard. They just keep up with a persona every day. Like, yeah, man, wagwan rude boy, wagwan, you cool, yeah, say, if you want to build it. Just talk like that all day, and so everybody thinks that you're authentic, yeah. But these times now, you're not. You
So
know what I
you
mean?
briefed me on challenges. that you experienced life after Jamaica with your mother. Can you share a little bit of those details?
Oh, well, you know what it is, yeah. I grew up in the time of where children were seen and not heard, innit? So
Yeah, me too.
like, I don't think my mother was ready for motherhood when she had me, because I told you, I went downtown with my vest and my underpants on, and that was a normal thing. It was a normal thing for my granddad to go uptown looking for me, because I'd be despairing. You know what I mean? They'd let me be a child, innit? I probably took it too far. So when my mom got me now, she thought it was a package deal, innit? She thought that, oh, this should be easy. And obviously, I don't think I was wayward, but obviously I lived this life in Jamaica, innit? So I've come here, and like she never had housing before. So basically it was the opportunity for her to get housing, and then I went from living with my grandmother and my aunt straight to living with her, that I didn't really have a relationship with her. So that was a bit strange, you know what I mean? But I think my first challenge was dealing with the children in the playground, not being able to understand that I speak another language, like speak with an accent.
Hi,
That was
Baba.
but yeah.
So you became a father at 15 years old. What was that experience like? Tell us all about it.
Well, because I got like four other siblings and I kind of grew them up, I felt like I was a big man. Like I felt like I had this thing sewn up. You know what I mean? I thought, oh, you got this sewn up. Like obviously, like I got into a relationship with somebody at like 14 and that stuff. That was like my first proper girlfriend. And I actually see my mum going through so many relationships and hardships and that stuff. It kind of changed my mind of how I dealt with women in a sense, because
What
my
were,
mum
what
was.
were those changes? Tell us about what that
I just
change
thought
was.
my mother was basically putting like men in front of us, like because she so much wanted to be in a relationship and she so much wanted love that
Mm.
she was like, just put. I don't know. I just realized my mom just actually just wanted love. So when I got into a relationship, that's what I did. You know what I mean? And obviously, not knowing the birds and the bees too much, yeah, then I ended up with my own child. But because I was going like three other children, like they was practically like my kids. I looked after them
So you,
morning, day, noon, and night.
is that when mum went to work and all this stuff and you had to be home? Typical
I,
Caribbean or
I,
African.
I wish she went to work, Silver, but like
Okay,
mom wasn't really much of a worker. She was just living her life.
okay.
I can't even make it any different to that. She was just living her life, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I had my child at 15. I was just on the last bit of school and that stuff. So I was like, yeah, I felt like I was a big man. I actually left home, like what you might call run away from home, but I didn't feel like I ran away at the time. But obviously, being an adult now, I can say that I ran away from home. You know the ones there. But
So
yeah,
let's
let's
go
go.
back a little bit then. Once you discovered that you were going to be a father and you got that first phone call news, however it was delivered, can you remember what your first thoughts were? What was that first experience emotionally?
Well, at the time, yeah, it was during a period when I ran away from home the first time. So at the time, I just felt like it was just something that we could do. We could do this. She lived with her mom. She had a turbulent relationship with her mom too. So it was like, like boxing. And I find that this is quite a lot. This is quite apparent in a lot of relationships. Like boxing, and both of the boxers get tired, yeah, and they need somebody to hold on to, yeah, to get the energy back. I find sometimes in relationship that's what happens. Like she was going through hardship at home with her mom. I went to school with her sister, and then she said, "Oh, you know, to hook up." So we hooked up, yeah, and we had so much in common. So we just thought we was kind of adults with our little children problems, like, "Oh, mom gets on my nerves too much, and all she wants me to do is wash up and this and that." So I guess that basically gelled like that, and we said, "Yeah, you know what? Choose my first relationship. Why not? You know what I mean?" So we had a child at 15. I was leaving school as well. Like it was quite. It changed education in my school when I ended up having a child.
Did you guys receive any support from family or how did society receive you as young parents? What was your experience?
You know what, because I said before that we was big, yeah, but we had a lot of, oh gosh, you know what you've done. You know what you've
Look
done
what
now,
you
you have a
done.
lot of
Yes, I'm
responsibility.
AKA Mr. Lover. So it started from young, clearly.
Oh, well, there's a lot of stories to do with that, yeah, but I don't know how deep you want to go right now. So I don't know
Mm.
how deep you're trying to dig right now. But yeah, everything for me is eventually done everything young and then grew up and then have to slow down a little bit and then basically when I get
How
older now.
deep are you prepared for me to dig is the question.
Sorry?
How deep are you prepared for me to dig is the question. I
Oh, I'm not
can
scared. Hey,
unfix
listen.
you and put you back together before we get to
Oh,
the
I can't
how
get
about that?
broken. I should have put Iron Man to the title as well. I can't get broken. I can't get broken. I've been through
Anywho,
so much. So go on, what you saying?
so you had your first child at 15.
hmm
Did you go on to have any more?
You know what, yeah? My first aspiration about love was kind of warped. I didn't know nothing about the whole thing. So yeah, I probably would have thought I would have had an army of children with my first child's mother, but I didn't. Like, obviously you don't know. No one tells you that women's hormones change after have a child.
Right.
They can get snappy or whatever. Not. Obviously, I've just left home, innit? I'm going through a lot, like mentally, innit? And I've felt like I secured a safe bet, yeah, to be with somebody, yeah. And then suddenly they just start acting weird on me, and I'm like, oh, what's happened here then? I thought you was in love. We just had a child. You always crying all the time. What's wrong? You know what I mean? So,
Oh,
you know what I mean? So I didn't understand that. I thought maybe I was making her unhappy. So we broke up, you know what I mean? And then
oh.
that's when the other side of being a man kicked in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, then all women are quite the same then because I thought that we was in heaven and you was happy. Obviously not. So yeah, it kind of warped my perception of relationships. I can't lie to you, Miss T. It did. Because
So you
nobody.
didn't go on to have any more children. You still have one child now.
No, I went on to having other children, but obviously that's down the line. Like, I think my second child happened like about 5 years after that. Still, I think so. I
Okay,
can't
so
remember.
before we go there, then you had your first child at 15 and said, what were the events that led you to becoming incarcerated at age 17? Let's get into that, Sally.
Woo! You're right in that. You know what? I said I believe, yeah, that basically at that time, yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
very wet behind the ears. Um,
Meaning,
Meaning that the life lessons that a lot of children was taught at that age, I weren't taught that. I had to everything that I've gone through,
mm-hmm.
I've had to learn. You know what I mean? Never had no male figures around to say, yeah, you don't want to do that, you know, that don't make no sense, or you know what I mean, where you have somebody you can confide to and somebody might be able to tell you whatever you was thinking didn't make no sense. I went from a very sheltered situation living at home to being my own man and making maybe not the best decisions because I was so sheltered. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do what the fuck I wanted now because I let adults make decisions for me and it didn't quite work out. So I decided I'm gonna do my own thing. And my own thing
Mm-hmm.
led me to a lot of problems. A lot of problems, you know what I mean? So that's what that really. I just thought, you know what, I was like my third or fourth job. I was a security guard and it was a higher position, yeah, and I just took advantage of it thinking that, oh, you know what you're doing. And I didn't. And it went pear-shaped. And I ended up spending friggin' 2.5 months in jail and it wasn't fun. Yeah, anybody, yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all.
So has that been your only prison term?
Man, I ain't going back unless you stole my money or mess with my family. You steal my money or mess with my
I'm glad
family.
to hear it. But okay, so share
Yeah,
some
I
of
have
the
gone back.
events that happened. What can you
It
share?
has to be a force
Like,
me to go back to jail. I am not going back to jail.
I'm
Listen,
glad, glad
some
that's what
people
you took.
go some people go jail and become jailbirds because it is actually easy to become institutionalized. It is. Somebody tells you what to do. Somebody tells you what you're going to eat. Somebody will tell you when to wake up. And people can actually make a lot of money in there. And there's more
Yeah.
drugs in there than there is on the road. So I can understand why some people don't lose the will to, like, if you don't have nothing to live for, I can understand why you might choose to make that be where you stay. But for me, I value myself too much, and I've got kids that I want to live for. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was my last step.
So get into the grip of your prison experience. What happened behind those doors?
Oh man, I was always paired up with all different kind of people. I shared cells with skagheads. I shared cells with murderers. I've shared cells with women abusers. I've shared cells with all kind of people. You know what I mean? I've had to smell another man's spot in my in my bunk above me. You know what I mean? And I like women. Like, why would I want to be in a position where I'm surrounded by men? Oh, that made no
Did you
sense to me.
experience any hostile behavior from other inmates? Like people
Man,
say,
I followed what my solicitor said. My solicitor said, keep your head down. Don't tell nobody when you're leaving and just get through it. It's only 2.5 months. And that's exactly what I did. No, I mean, I was a bit naive when I first got there. Like my aunt, like I think the last day of court, I kind of knew that, we all knew that I was going, like there was a possibility that I was going down. My aunt gave me 40 cigarettes. I got to the jail. I was in the yard. I was handing out cigarettes like he was, oh, you want a cigarette? Yeah, yeah, because you're going to give me a cigarette when I want one, innit? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss canteen. They call canteen when you can buy your little things with the little money, yeah. I miss canteen. Believe you not, I was smelling tobacco of people for 2.5 weeks before I got to smoke again. Yeah. Yeah, jail is dead. I don't recommend it to anybody unless there's a reason for it still.
wow. You know, Melo, I'm going to ask you to take a moment, just enjoy that moment of taking a breath, whilst I just greet everyone that's kind of joining the live and people that's popping on and off. Hi, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Let me say hi to
Wagwan
some people.
people.
Hi, Chi.
Wagwan people.
Pinky, what's happening?
Love to the people that's in here listening to the chat, man. But yeah. So yeah, that was my experience, man. I would tell anybody that unless it's worth it, don't ever go to jail, man. Jail is not for nobody, man.
One second, Mels. Anne-Marie, thanks for that feedback with the whole echo that was going on. So, Melo, I would like to get into your really personal life. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Let's talk relationships.
Yeah.
Is Melo single or is there a Mrs. Melo?
Listen, there's a Mrs. Melo, and we've got there's never gonna be a Mrs. Melo because we got kids to raise. You know what I mean? And that's a contract. Not saying that basically being a bad.
Is there Mrs. Melo or is there not?
Yes, darling. There's a Mrs. Melo.
Right, a Mrs. Melo. Okay, so you're happily on lockdown. Your
Yeah,
turn.
at the end of the day, I'm happy I'm lockdown.
That's nice.
Like, it's beyond love still, like, it's beyond love. When somebody gives you some beautiful gifts like what she gave me, and my kids love her and I love her, can't mess with that still. You cannot
That's
mess with
lovely.
that.
But of course, in that realm, wishing you all the best, he's hoping that she can contain you. And contain you, and
Well, you know what? Yeah, there's no containing. All right, let me just stop you there. There's no containing, Mrs. Silver. It's just loving and respecting each other. There's no containing. Like, at the end of the day, I need to be here because I want to be here, and she
I
needs to
know,
be
I
here
know, I know.
because she wants to be here. Because if a next man can take my woman, it's not my woman. If a next woman can take your man, it's not your man. You know what I mean? Like, everybody choose where they want to stand. You know what I mean? That's where it is for me personally.
Basically, realistically, right?
Yeah. Now, a lot of people talk about loyalty in relationship, yeah, but I think everybody got it all misconstrued. Like, I think people got it like relationships to keep in 2020 is a myth. I don't know anybody that's been with anybody for 10 years, and I've been with my kid's mother for 10 years. You know what I mean?
That 10 years solid, consistently.
Yeah, I've always been long term with anybody I've been with anyway. I've never been Anybody that's been shorter than a year wasn't a relationship to me personally.
Yeah.
Now, all my relationships have been 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. They're not been short relationships. So, yeah.
As for the containing, it depends on how you see that term. So there's always going to be analogies. Yeah, so it's gonna be analogies. Don't get impressed on my life. Yeah, okay. You feel me? People get impressed.
We love you too. Well, God, we love you too. Yeah. Sorry, you gotta keep them people there knowing that we're taking them in consideration as we're talking. But yeah, love you today. I find it very. I don't know. It's sort of Snapchat. No, I mean, because people don't understand it, like, and what the problem is, I feel like I'm gonna quickly go into, but I feel like we're not on a playing level field when it comes to love, men and women, because men are groomed not to be parents. Women are groomed from the beginning of the day. Oh, here's a dolly. You're playing mummy. There's a dolly.
Absolutely.
Football. A guy's given a toy car, guy's given a gun, guy's given a computer game. He ain't thinking about marriage. So when everybody starts settling down, it's a catching up thing. A man takes long to be a man. It takes a while to be a man. Even me, I don't feel like I'm 1,000% a man yet, in the sense where I've learned it all, you know what I mean? So I feel like when women get in a relationship, they already know what they're programmed to want. And guys...
I mean, speaking as a woman, that wouldn't apply to me. Maybe the women that you've met or the women that you've heard about. When you say not programmed to know what they want, I would say I can't speak for who you've met. I'd be wrong to do that.
I feel like children, girl childs are groomed. Well, back in the day, I'm not talking about now, because now girl childs can be guys and grow up to be a boy or whatever they want to be. But when I was coming up, and the majority of the generation, you're given a dolly or you're playing house, you know what I mean? Or you're taught like girly things. Where guys are not taught that, you know what I mean? Guys take long to catch up with the relationship. They have to see a couple
Is that in terms of women mature quicker than men, like naturally? Yeah?
Yeah, because think about it. A woman's objective is not to have too many numbers on their bedhead. And a guy's objective is to have as many on them. Like, I've been around, I'll stick with 20 women. No, I'll stick with 35. You know,
but is that when you say guys, is that boys? Because with a frog, not having to be that.
Do you know a few men that basically act like boys?
Well, yeah, of course.
All right, then. So women mature quicker than men then, right?
Okay. You know, here's how I see it. Each one will always teach one. Okay? No matter where you're from, what your story is, you don't get to a certain age and not have a level of reflective baggage. Let's be real, okay? There's always going to be a reflective scenario that helps shape you for better or worse for who you are today at our age group. Yeah? Now, so let me go back a bit to go forward. When I speak about obtain, maintain, and contain, yeah? When the first person got pressed, he should have asked me what I meant by contain. It's containing oneself within the wrong relationship. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Yeah? You feel me? So words have so much power that people don't think about it before they want to respond. Contain what, Silver? Containing oneself. Because your journey to the hell has a massive impact on the women that you like, don't like, sexually love, and despise. Facts.
Yeah, of course, it's facts. You know what? Yeah, I think that goes. Yeah, that's 1,000%. Like, if you're gonna be with somebody, you kind of need to understand where they came from, like what their background is.
The boy and the girl in that man and woman, and I'm always saying that. Because it sounds silly, but you need to be like, you know, the boy in you, because outside of the ego and what you impress with the believe, there's a boy in there and a girl within self that needs to come out and then express why you are the way you are, why you need to be loved the way you be loved.
But everybody's a Benjamin Button. You see, when people get older, they lose their filters.
Yeah, for real.
And some people take joy in being able to say what the fuck they want to say. That's what losing your filter is. When you say, oh, you lose your filters. That means that you're going to say some stuff here that basically is on your mind, yeah, and other people will be thinking twice about saying it. but you've lost your filters, so you're just gonna say it.
100%.
So I mean, like, and then sometimes I feel like in this, especially in this country, they expect when you get older that you're just going to just, I don't know, curl up in a box and die. But when you get older, you kind of want to go back to your childhood again and do what you like. That's what retirement kind of is. You just sit down and do what you want to do now, in
Right.
which that was a childlike thing. As an adult, you can't sit down and do what you want to do now, else you'll find that your life is kind of shady. You know what I mean? So when you retire, you go back to being, oh, I want to go and whatever you dreamed of as a child. I want to go on a boat.
What's your thoughts on marriage?
Oh, I think that marriage is good, as long as basically you're marrying for the right reason and you know who you're getting married to.
Repeat that, please.
I think marriage is very good, as long as you're marrying for the very right reasons and you know who you're getting married to.
But do we ever really know? I mean, let's be frank. I mean, no matter how long we spend it,
That's why I don't agree with rushing to get married. I think everybody rushes to get married, and that's why the divorce rate is so high, because everybody has this false pretense of what a relationship is supposed to be like. Now, if you're going to ask somebody to pretend to be something here, at some point they're going to fall out of character and start being themselves. So,
of course,
before you get to marry somebody, all this sex before marriage and marriage before sex and that stuff, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
So are you married?
I'm not married yet, but I'm gonna get married though.
But you've had sex before marriage. I'm confused.
Yeah, and I don't believe in anything else than that. I've seen people get married. Well, they never had sex before marriage, but I've seen people get married in the name of, oh, we want to be right, and fall apart later on. So that's
okay.
the
My
problem.
friends are still married all like past 50-something years, and in that generation,
you have to understand the time that they got married, though.
That's what I was just going to say to you. So people compare a lot about the elders. Remember, they got together in the black struggle, very different. You know, at times we're talking about no black dogs or Irish in departments, yeah? So in that time, again, many people got married very quickly. Again, like traditional people or religious people get married really young or very quickly. Personally, I believe the post that says, depending on why you are committing or why you're doing it, whether it's fast or slow, as long as you're vibrant at the same frequency, go do what you want to do. There's no point me holding back if it's flowing natural, or pushing forward if it's flowing natural. Let's just be.
Yeah.
That was, for example, one woman, it may have taken me 10 years, another might have taken me 3 years to marry her. It's just different frequencies. It is what it is.
Well, personally, I think that basically, anytime you're gonna like stick two personalities together to live together, like some people don't even live together first. They just jump into marriage. Sometimes somebody might do something that really irritates you and you can't see past it. And you can pretend that you like it all you want, yeah, but then soon you're gonna crack. Now, wouldn't it be good, yeah, before you got into a contract, yeah, that you knew this person did this, and then basically you could not get in that contract and go through the hardship of having to go to get divorced? It would be good.
So you believe in living together and
yeah, because all of this marriage is a man-made thing. It's all controlling thing. Who said marriage? When did God make a contract? Did God throw down a contract and said, yeah, this is how I want you guys to get along? No. This is what society says that you should do. Now, I love the idea of a marriage. I always used to be as a child going to everybody's having a good time. The bride's got a beautiful dress on. The groom's looking sharp. And then two twos, they just disappeared. Like nobody saw them. Where they gone? Oh, they jumped in the car. They're going on their honeymoon. Now, that's the shit that I want to be a part of. And I want it to be a memory for me to enjoy. Not because I want everybody else to see me get married and eat my cake and have a good time and for the wrong reasons. I want it to be a reason. You know what? I want to cry at my wedding because this is, you know what? It's been a journey.
You can't. You're preempting. I want to cry at my wedding. Come on, bro.
No, I mean, I might want to feel like I'm not really a crier. I'm not really a crier. Listen to me. I'm a big man. I'm not really a crier.
Talk your coming. Why are you not married though, bro? You had some what, a decade? What's popping? What's going on?
No, because we're just getting to know each other properly as people.
After a decade, really?
And people say, it's 10. Like most relationships and them things last 10 years. Now, I reckon if we got married, we wouldn't have lasted 10 years straight.
Well, you know what? The good thing is, one has to move according to who they are, and if that's what you needed, then by all means, listen. I want to get into your music before we wind down for the night.
Sorry?
I want to get into your music before we wind down.
Oh, okay.
So tell us now, and thanks for sharing your thoughts on relationships. Talk to us about Melo, the artist, musician, and art lover.
Oh man, like
I'm going to ask you this. First of all, what type of artist are you?
I don't really. I think I'm more of an entertainer in the sense of that I want to be in the bracket of making whatever music I feel like making, whether it's R&B, whether it's got a jazz sound to it, or whether it's neo soul, or whether it's rap. I want to be able to just you never know what you're gonna hear when you hear a Melo tune.
So you have no specific targeted genre?
When I started making music, I was a reggae artist. I used to listen to Sanchez and all that reggae stuff because obviously I grew up in Jamaica, so reggae was a big thing for me. But then I heard Jodeci, and then Jodeci changed the whole lot for me. You know what I mean?
Are you a DJ? Are you a bit of a sing J, would you say then?
Sorry?
Are you a bit of what we call a sing J, kind of sing, kind of DJ, kind of?
I'm more like I'm more like an entertainer. I think entertainer is more better because I can rap and I can sing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm more of a singer than a rapper. But
Okay. Do I
I
hear a song coming on for us like now? Like and shit.
I could do
Are
it
you
for
that
you.
bold and brave?
I'm always bold and brave.
Okay.
I'll give you one of my tunes that I wrote to a tune. Yeah, I'll listen it.
Okay, go for it.
Was staring in your face. I love the feel of your hips. When we make you love this way, I make you say, oh wow. When I'm filling up your space, and when you come, you give me chills. When we're making love this way.
Oh, on the spot, on the spot. Thank you, Melo. Okay, that's when you know you got the shit. When you can spit live, like bam, here you go. Thanks for sharing that moment. Okay. So
I didn't even want my voice. I didn't even want my voice.
Huh?
I said I didn't even want my voice, but yeah, it's alright.
Thank you, thank you. You better cut down on this thing, but that's a whole other experience. But listen, I know you've done little gigs. Name us a few other people you collab with, and what's happening next with your music career.
All right, with my music career, it's been on hold because, as I said, I wasn't really I never had much faith in myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never grew up championed. You know, some people grow up with parents that champion them, or you might have a sister that might say big you up or whatever. Not, never had nobody bigging me up. So
I
I was a bit
understand that.
shy. I'm dropping my own music. I worked with gigs on Walk in the Park. So I'm one of the biggest UK rappers. I don't really tell people that because I rather just get notification of something that I did, which is something I did, but I didn't follow up on it. You know what I mean? Hey, what's that, okay, Diamond? Yeah, so yeah, I didn't follow up on obviously gigs is big and successful, and I've always been cold feeted about what am I gonna drop. But I've got a project that's gonna be called The Lockdown and dropping soon. So keep an eye
Doesn't
out.
everybody else, doesn't everyone have a project called Lockdown and George Floyd?
Sorry?
Doesn't everybody have a project called Lockdown at this point and George Floyd?
Man, and the day my
What?
lockdown is gonna be different. Everybody can relate to it. It's gonna be more for all kind of lovers and for what's really going on at the time. And it's a personal note of how I feel in this time right now. To be quite honest, I've got loads of
I look
songs.
forward to hearing it. So what kind of genre of music is that going to be in?
Bit of R&B, a bit of hip hop at the minute. Still. A bit of reggae if I can fit it in. But obviously to put all of my songs got a reggae feel in it anyway because I'm a Wailers fan still. So
Is there
all of
any
my music.
artists? Is there any other artists that you would love to work with in the future?
Current artists that I love to work with in the future. Oh, there's so many of them right now, man.
The Teacher.
Sorry?
Who did you say? Work with
There's
who?
so many of them at the minute right now. Obviously everybody would love to work with Drake, but that's cliche. So yeah, obviously I'd love to work with Drake. I'd love to work with Usher, yeah. If I could ever work with Usher, that would be sick, like, because obviously I grew up listening to Usher. Timberland producer side, I'd love to work with like Timberland, Swiss Beats. There's quite a lot of people I'd love to work with, and
Are they great? Who are your favorite? Name me one favorite female artist and one favorite male.
oh wow. Let's listen. I grew up on Faith Evans,
Okay.
on Jill Scott.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some Aretha Franklin. I call my cat's called Aretha. Like chat about like Aretha's gospel album. You mad? Who else there? There's loads of female artists like Gladys Knight, Anita Baker. Anita Baker's my favorite. Like Sweet Love and all that.
You got an old soul.
Yeah, of course. I like new artists as well, but when you're talking about people that I hold to my soul, then yeah, those are the people. Stevie Wonder, but yeah, you said females, but yeah, I love females as well. I work on my higher register singing with like female artists.
So what type of music do you play at home?
Oh God, it's not like that no more. Like you can't even play music no more in these days. Before,
What
like,
do you play in your car? What do you listen to
okay.
outside of the clubs? Outside of the clubs.
If I'm going to work here, I'll play some. Depending on what mood I'm in, but I'll play something uplifting. If I'm driving somewhere on the way there, I'll play something uplifting, like some. I don't know. I might play some gigs. I might play some UK rap, whatever I feel like playing. Like, there's a guy called two artists that I'm actually like. Big up an artist called Castle Black as well. Like that's another artist that's from UK underrated. But yeah, I play uplifting music. But when I'm coming back from work and that stuff, I play my R&B, my little slow down, my little vibe, and I always do a couple videos singing as well. Like I like to hold a vibe, man, on my Insta. Anyway, you might catch me on my Insta with a couple slow R&B.
Before we wind down the slide, you ready?
Yeah, darling.
The second to last question is there anything else that you would like to share that I haven't asked you tonight?
Anything that you haven't asked me tonight?
You'd love to share before we wind down the slide.
Not really, apart from make sure you look out for my actual project that I'm dropping. That's the only thing. I'm going to be dropping.
You keep me in the loop and I'll be sure to check it out. How about that?
I'll be keeping you in the loop, but you won't have no choice because I'm going to black out my page here, my Insta page. I'm going to get rid of all my posts here, which is like 4,000 something posts here, which I need to get rid of. Yeah. Gonna get rid of all my posts, and then it's gonna be about music. And then I'm gonna open and I got another page for friends and jokes, but this one's gonna be for music. So yeah, keep a lookout on Melo yourself.
For sure. Okay then, so Melo, last question for me. What was it like for you tonight on Free Flame Thoughts with me?
Oh, I felt very relaxed, man. I don't know if it was because you allowed me to smoke my piff and have my wine, but I feel very relaxed, and you're a good person to have a conversation with. I've seen you in action already, and I thought, you know what, we're gonna get on just fine.
Thank you. You know, you're so energetic. Straight, you woke me up. You know, like you're so authentic.
I try to be an energy god, you know, because
you are so energized. So thank you for taking the time to stop by and speak with me. I'm gonna need to have you back featuring at different times because you're very free-spirited and you don't quite kill. You're just very vocal, and I think that especially my age classes that I do on a Friday, I need some guys to come in and just speak their mind and don't what anyone thinks. So
you know what? Yeah, I was meaning to. Sorry to cut you. I was meaning to the last few times, but I do agency work at the minute, so it's like whenever
that's
the work.
so good. I'm gonna have you come stop by. Maybe by next month, stop by a couple of times in a month and sit chat to different people and mix and blend. And then when your project kicks off, come back and we'll talk about strictly about your music.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Guys, thank you so much for stopping by, newbies and oldbies. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, and Miss Silver, you've been Miss Silver T, you've been a wonderful person to have a conversation with. So I'll
Thank
definitely
you.
be tuning in and be joining in any conversations that you have. And thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Come and have a chit chat with Silver Live.
I'm gonna be reposting this live anyway. So you
Make
know.
sure, make
Come
sure.
on, come on. Thanks for
So,
you guys for tuning in, mum.
you're welcome. Yeah. Thanks, guys. So until I see you again, namaste. Peace and
Good
love.
night, Misty. Good night.
See ya.
Take care.
Guys, as Melo exits this live, thank you so much for stopping by. And I'm supposed to be back on Friday speaking to the naked trumpet player. That's a whole nother conversation if he decides to turn up. Anyway, look out for the post that will fill you in with all the details of that by maybe tomorrow night, and we'll take it from there. God, it's time for me to go to bed. Peace.